the world will look up and shout, "Save us." And I'll whisper, "No."
What's going on, guys? So, I wanted to make a video about the news about HBO wanting to make a Watchmen show. Now, you might have heard about this a few months back, and that was because HBO and Zack Snyder were actually trying to make something happen with this. They wanted to bring freaking the Watchmen to TV, which would have been on HBO and cable, all that jazz. You know how it goes. They wanted to bring that series to HBO, and remember, Zack Snyder made the movie, and I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I freaking loved Watchmen, and I personally felt like his vision for that movie made many more fans of the Watchmen comic book than there were before that movie came out. But of course, a lot of people hate Zack Snyder, so they might have hated that movie too. I personally loved it. But anyways, I was excited when I heard this news that HBO and Zack Snyder were going to try to make a Watchmen show on HBO. HBO has some already amazing shows on their network, so I was like, hell yeah. It's like when freaking Netflix says they're gonna make a new show that is involving something you love, you're just like, oh, that's awesome! That is exactly how I felt when Watchmen was going to be a series on HBO. But since that announcement, or since that, news popped off, a few months back, there hasn't been anything from Zack Snyder or HBO about the show. Well, now it turns out that HBO still wants to make the show, but Zack Snyder is no longer going to be a part of it, which kind of sucks, and also just feels like Zack Snyder is on his way out with DC properties, which kind of blows because I really enjoy Zack Snyder as a director. But like I said, that's my opinion. Other people have different other opinions. But that doesn't mean that somebody creative is not going to be behind this Watchmen series, because HBO has hired David Lindelof. Sorry, I had to look up his name. If you guys feel like you know that name from somewhere, it's because he's the showrunner on freaking The Leftovers, which is an HBO series. And he was a showrunner for Lost. He's also worked on movies like Prometheus and Star Trek Into Darkness. And it's going to be really interesting to see what his vision for Watchmen is going to be. And apparently, it has nothing to do with anything Zack Snyder was planning when he was aboard this project. It seems like Lindelof's going to be able to just do whatever he wants with his brainsicle. Now, the most interesting thing to me about this project is what the hell is Lindelof gonna do with this series? Because Zack Snyder's movie was pretty damn close to the comic book. Now, I know the ending was very different, but, if you did the comic book ending, it would have been probably pretty stupid. Like, people probably would have been left, that was a stupid ending. So I get why they did the ending in the movie than they did from the comic book. But I'm really interested to see how they would make this show. Like, I could understand maybe you do a show about the Minutemen, which was the, first version of the Watchmen, but why would you call this show Watchmen if it's not going to involve the Watchmen? You know what I mean? You just call it the Minutemen. But then again, you could just have flashbacks or mini-series of the Minutemen within the freaking Watchmen show. That would be kind of cool, and then we can see two different sides of this, or just have a spin-off of the Minutemen. I don't really know. But I want to know, what they're going to do with this. Are they going to follow the comic books, or are they just going to take the characters and make their own things? And, maybe, I don't know, just go off side stories or little hints that happened in the freaking comic book. We do know that there were a lot of, riots against the Watchmen, who watches the Watchmen, because they felt like they had too much power. We had Dr. Manhattan go to Vietnam and kill everybody. It'll be really interesting to see those little side stories. I would like to see more of Rorschach. If this series centered around Rorschach, fucking sign me up and I will watch this shit like crazy, because Rorschach is amazing and I just loved him in that movie. But I would love to see these characters grow and see how they became the characters. Is it going to be how they started out before they became the characters? Are we gonna, be with Dr. Manhattan before he turns into Dr. Manhattan? Are we gonna see how Night Owl gets all of his gadgets and how he builds everything, how he gets his suit? Is this gonna be the origin of Watchmen? This is what I'm really curious about with this show. I'm excited about it. I hope it's something like that. I would love to see before Watchmen. That was a comic series that I haven't read yet. But it'd be really interesting to see what direction they're going to go in with this show. And I want to know, do you guys care about this show? Are you interested in this show? Or do you like, meh, hopefully it's good because I wouldn't mind watching something else? Like, let me know your thoughts about a possible Watchmen show happening on HBO, which, you know, has Game of Thrones and all these other awesome series. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that you can snag one of your own Juice's Joker shirt over on Teespring. There's still a few days left if you want to pick up one of those. Or if you want to support this channel in any other way, you can check out the Patreon like these awesome people did. Or you can always do the OG thing and give this video a like and share it with all of your Watchmen buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I am your host, JUICEBLOX. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Have I made a daily dose of juice? See you guys next time. Bye.